Right. Okay, how's it going, everybody? We're calling this the Spotlight. This is our first little interview where we're just going to highlight local uh, or people in Subto or in other groups, real estate investment groups, and just kind of get their story and see what they can offer, what their story is, and then how we can all help them. So, the first guest we're going to have on is Dennis Yosco. Yosco?
Yeah, Yosco.
Yaska? Okay, cool. And where are you from, buddy?
I'm from New Jersey. I was born and raised over here and started investing over here.
So, how did you get into it and everything? I know you kind of got a background in the trades, right?
Yeah, so I kind of started from the bottom, right? So originally, so the main reason why I got into real estate, I'll give you the way back, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, my father had cancer when we were younger. I was about 11 years old,
Yeah.
and we had lost our house to foreclosure. And it was a couple, I guess he had cancer when I was like 2 or 3, but took that many years to finally foreclose on us, this and that. So, anyways, flash forward, that it was always in my back of my head was losing our house and stuff like that. So I got into the trades, and then somebody brought up to me about flipping houses, and I'm like, I always had an interest for real estate,
Hmm.
so I kind of just fell into it right after that. We did some flips, about 30 flips over a couple years, and yeah.
So you did that as the investor yourself, or you were actually just doing the trades on that?
Yeah, so I was just doing the trades. I got in as an electrician when I was 19, right? So
Strong union job out
yeah,
there.
yeah, yep. I got IBW 164. So I got into the union. Friend of mine was like, "Hey, you should join the union." I'm like, "All right, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty good." I had no idea what it was. I was a mechanic at the time, so I just went for it. And about say like 9 months to a year into my apprenticeship, I had a guy talking to me. It was 2008, 2000, yeah, no, 2000, end of 2008, early 2009.
Hmm.
Him and his brothers all did mortgages. And they were killing it. I mean, the brother was making $1 million a year. The youngest brother was making like 2 million, and this guy was making like 500K, right? Like just killing it,
Yeah.
right? And then 2008 happened, and
Yeah.
money went bye bye.
That
So
was a
now he
crazy
got it.
time.
Yeah, exactly. It really was. So he got into the union, and his brother wanted to do some flips, and he told me about it. He's like, "Hey, you want to do some side work?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like money. Let's go."
Hmm.
Um, so we went out. We started doing some flips and stuff like that, and I thought it was pretty cool. I was making good money. I'd make, let's say, $10,000, and I'm like, this is awesome. And then I come to realize that he was making 100 grand. I'm like, I gotta figure this out here.
There's a next level to this.
Yeah, something else is going on here that I don't know about. So that's what kind of got opened my mind to it and started digging deeper into it. And then flash forward, I got my real estate license, thinking that was the way.
Hmm.
And then I realized that wasn't the way. I hated buyers and sellers. Now what do I do? Is I talk to sellers all day. So
Were you actually like with a broker, like that was your
yep,
main gig, or were you just kind of doing it on the side kind of thing?
did it on the side. So I did it on the side. We had our first daughter, and I went back to work, and then I quit my job like 3 weeks later.
Dang.
I did it full time for like 6 months. I just took the risk, and it worked. I mean, it was all right. I did a couple listings and a couple buyer transactions and a couple leases.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I had a good year, but it wasn't like worth it to me. Like the way I looked at it, like the amount of money I had to make as a realtor, I'd have to like double my pay as an electrician. I was working double the hours, but
Dang.
not getting the same compensation.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go back to being an electrician. So let's go back to what I knew. And yeah,
That's cool. I mean, there's a lot of people that have those same kind of stories where you just kind of dabbling in it and everything, and like I totally see where you're coming from, and I had a kind of the same setup with dealing with foreclosure during the crash with family. So I hear you, man. But so you kind of started doing that, and then you know found your way into like, okay, there's a next level to this. I need to get my hands dirty in this. Uh, like, what was the next thing you did? Did you just automatically start flipping, or what was that next step?
So the next step was I was actually at my cousin's house and we were talking to one of our other cousins. My wife has a massive family, so there's like a ton of first cousins.
Yeah.
And I'm really good friends with them. So we were talking and just hanging out. And he's like, "Oh, I want to flip a house." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been, I want to do it too." So this is like 3 years ago now.
Hmm.
And we're like, "Let's send some direct mail. It looks easy enough, right?" So we hand printed, stuffed envelopes, the whole nine, stamped them, wrote the address out on like 2000. And we're going to get like 10 deals out of this. We sent them out and literally nothing happened.
Nice.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Not even a text, a call, nothing. It was just like, what a waste. So we're inexperienced. We didn't know. So we were like, oh, this sucks, this and that. And then we had some other buddies that were all kind of together with us. So we found out about HomeVestors through another flipper, right? So we're like, let's buy
Hmm.
a franchise. Um,
Damn, how
so
many people went in on that? Was it just
five,
you?
no, it was
Five? Oh,
five.
five? Okay.
Yeah, it was 5 people. We figured it's big upfront cost. 5 people, we could spend 5,000 a month in advertising, and it's not like not gonna hurt, right?
Yeah.
So we ended up we bought the franchise. Um, all in, it was like 40 something thousand dollars. Plus, we were spending between five and $10,000 a month in advertising.
Dang.
And yeah, and the leads for the first like 4 months sucked.
Yeah.
The thing with home investors is all they do is direct mail and PPC. There's nothing else. You're not getting any other like tricks of the trade, nothing. They're old school. Just send a ton of mail out and just hope for the best, right?
And then
Uh,
from that, those leads are big money. Like
yeah,
those are like gold every time they come in.
yeah. We got good leads. I mean, the flips we did get, they're pretty substantial. Almost six figures per flip.
Dang.
Um, so you can't complain. I'm not going to complain about it. But we ended up selling our franchise after a year and a half, um, which because we were like, we didn't want to work together anymore.
Yeah.
The
That's
five
a
of us.
lot of people to be partners with.
Yeah. And the expectations weren't there too. So the way it was presented, everybody was going to do X amount of work.
Hmm.
And then it came out to be, like two of us worked substantially more than everybody else. And then one of them, did a good amount of work and the other two just non-existent, not even
Yeah.
putting,
Just
they just
collecting checks.
yeah, just sitting back, not doing anything, not putting anything. And we're like, what the hell's going on? So that's where we're like, you know what? Let's just sever ties. And now we're just like we're at that point now where we're wrapping up some of the stuff we had
Hmm.
and we're just cleaning up our books. And then I went my separate way. I have my partner Kevin. The two of us are together.
Okay. I thought
And
you were I thought you were back on your own completely. So you still got a partner?
yeah, so my partner Kevin, he's an electrician with me.
Okay.
Um, so our intention is when we get more and more flips coming in,
Hmm.
we're in that 2 to 4 whatever range or more. Kevin's going to be the full-time project manager, going job to job, just doing all that stuff.
Hmm.
This way, I could focus more on acquisitions, getting deals, driving for dollars, all things like that, or building my systems for those things in place. So it's kind of where we're at now, is like rebuilding our systems out and kind of solving all the little issues we have and finding the right people to put into places and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a slow go, but it's going to be good in the next 3 4 months. Really, really
Yeah,
good.
you're refining stuff and still making moves and everything. It sounds like you're on a good track at least. Like, you know. So what made you join Sub Two? What, a couple months ago? What
Yeah,
awesome person got you in Sub Two?
Yeah, I know. This awesome person guy, this guy I'm talking to now, Rob Ringland, he got me in.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I
Um,
got the golden boy in.
yeah. So, which I appreciate that, man.
Glad to have
Because
you, man.
I hopped on there and I was in the creative group and just trying to get some information, seeing what I'm missing because I never go on Facebook or anything like that. Not a social media guy,
Mhm.
which now I'm learning that's absolutely crucial in this business. So trying to be better at that. Um, so I hopped onto the creative side group and I was just like digging around and stuff like that. And I put a post out. I didn't even know what it was. And I think you responded to me. I said, what is Subto or something like that. Um, I had heard a piece through, I was looking up novation agreements because I was trying to figure out how I could take down a deal that I had that they just wanted a little bit too much money.
Mhm.
So I'm like, how can I do this that I could do the fix and flip and partner up with somebody? And I looked up novation and there was like case came up. He had like 10 videos about it. I'm like, who's this guy? Why does he know about this? And why don't I know about this? So that's what got me like interested in his whole thing, join the creative side. And then um I put a post out something about asking if sub two is worth it. And you were like, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's hard to to talk to somebody about it and not sound like you're almost in a cult because I always wondered how other people got into cults, and now I see why. It's
yep,
pretty easy in this one, but I kept saying I was like, man, don't overdo it because if he ends up joining and it's not as amazing for him,
mhm,
but I've pretty much come to the you know the figure that you know you can't oversell this group enough. Like it's pretty insane.
yeah, it definitely is. And it's the people that are inside it that really make the group so good. I made, so many really good connections. I mean, obviously you, there's just a laundry list of people that I've been able to talk to, connect with, and like grow myself.
Yeah.
Um,
Who
which
are,
is
who are some of those? Who are some of like who'd you say is like your top five people that you talk
uh,
to regularly in sub two?
a lot of the guys, like a lot of the Jersey guys. So I'm trying to think of who I talked to just today. Like I talked to John. I talked to man, you put me on the spot now. I'm trying to think of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, on the nightly dial, I love that. Like all the people on there, Dan Q and everybody up there, Sam. Awesome. I friggin' love the nightly dial thing. It's so good. But I mean, I met this Anthony Scarelli. I think I forget how to say his last name. Anthony, whatever. He's from Jersey. I had Joshua Salazar come out to one of my meetups. John, I had Nguyen, um, and Ernie. Who else? A whole bunch of people.
You're
Um,
you're actually putting on your own meetups yourself out there in Jersey, right? Like
yeah,
what is that about? And you know, definitely plug that a little bit.
yeah. So I started. This is probably like 8 months ago, July of this past year, um, 2020 or 2021. I'm sorry. I had started. I met up with a guy, a lone guy, and I was looking for an accountability partner, just somebody to keep me in check, to make sure I'm doing what make sure like I was making my calls, he was doing his thing. So he was a loan officer. So we talked about it. We went out. We were just like seeing how we could help each other and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, I want to start a meetup. And he's like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. I'd like to do that too. So that was it. The next month, he's like, hey, let's do it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we just picked a bar and called up and said, hey, we don't know how many people we're gonna have, but we're gonna just put this out there and see what the hell happens. So we got
Nice.
like, yeah, I think we got 12 or 15 people that showed up. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. We actually had people like showed up. I knew nobody. So it was like really cool. Um, and then we're like, let's try this again. We paid for everything. We bought, we paid for unlimited open bar. We paid for the food. And I think in total for all those people, it was like $400, something like that.
That's a
Wasn't,
pretty sick meetup if you're paying for food and drinks. I'll tell you, like most of the
yeah,
ones I've been to, like there definitely isn't food and drink there. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's something that we started, and I don't think I'll ever take away because I feel like that's part of our growth and why we were able to get so big so fast. So we started, that first one was like 12 people, whatever, 15, whatever it was. The next one was like 20, next one was like 30, and then next thing I was like 40, 50, and now this past one we had like, I think when we totally counted, it was like 72 people
Dang. So
total.
word got out about the open bar.
That's what it is. So now we changed it though. We tweaked it because we used to do like full open all the
Yeah.
time. So now what we started doing is we do a tab limit. So we do like $500 tab limit, and then we also buy food and stuff like that. So our total cost is like $1,000 a month. But we pretty much run out of booze around like 2 hours in. So it's
Oh,
actually
nice.
not that bad. People already
Yeah.
have a couple in them, and there's talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but they could go downstairs and get a drink from the bar. So it's not like you can't have a drink. But
Yeah.
the food and the drink is honestly, I think, one of the main reasons why it kind of came together, like it came together. But I honestly, that if you're going to do one thing in this business and you're going to spend money and try to build your name in the local market, that's the one thing you should do.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like just the amount of networking I have, the people I know. I mean, I have a list of like 300 close contacts that know me by first name that are in my local area that are doing deals just like me. So, which is awesome. I mean, they're realtors, they're tax people, insurance people, they're pretty much everything because we're Gain Net Worth, GAIN
Okay,
networth.com.
nice.
We're
We'll put that in the notes too.
yeah, we're rebuilding our website. So GAIN stands for gather, analyze, invest, and network to increase your net worth. That's kind of like our little slogan.
That's pretty good. Pretty
And
catchy.
my wife created that, so
Nice.
um, so yeah, that's kind of like we decided to like. It's not just. It is mostly real estate investors, but we don't mind if you're an entrepreneur and also like just coming and talking about yourself. So like we have a marketing consult. We have an insurance agent. He does like crucial for our business. But we have, I mean, the one girl that hosts it with us. She's a tarot card reader. That's her business, and she makes good money.
Nice.
Yeah, like there's so many different things. We kind of like let people like, hey, come and do your thing. Actually, we had a couple Subto newbies who came out. So Luigi came out to one of my meetups. My last one, he's going to be at the next one too.
Nice.
Which that's March 22nd is our next one. It's 6 to 10 p.m. So I'm going to post the thing like I do. So, yeah, start a meetup, people. Like honestly, like spend some money, do it. It's not that bad. You can find sponsors if you want. They, a lot of people ask all the time, hey, can I sponsor the events?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Even our second event, the one guy was like, dude, I'll sponsor this whole thing. And I kept saying no. So I was like, no, I want to do it. I want to pay for it. And then my one partner's like, dude, we're taking sponsors. Not like he stopped me. So
This bar tabs are getting too high too quick.
yeah, exactly. So he's like, we're gonna take some sponsors on. So, but the way we do it, it's not like in your face. We don't do like booths or anything like that. It's like on the email, it'll say sponsored by actually here, Tempora
Nice.
Construction. So
Nice.
like it says like sponsored by Tempora Construction. And then at the meetup, he'll be there and he'll have like a 5-minute thing like, hey, I'm Ray Temprano, I do construction, whatever, for real estate investors. And if you ever need help, give me a ring, I'll give you estimates. And I specifically work for real estate investors. So like that's his like whole spiel. So he paid I don't know, $300 or something like that to sponsor the meetup for that.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so he's happy because he gets business, and I'm happy because I don't have to spend as much every month. So
Amen.
but,
So now you've been in Subto for a while. What are kind of like what's like your favorite thing to be as far as like maybe a Zoom or something to be a part of? What's like your bread and butter for or in Subto?
so I mean, I like closing, so I obviously love the nightly dial.
Mhm.
Um, the nightly dial is probably one of the best things going right now. Like Pace has
You're-
answered every question on all of his Zooms. So it's kind of like the questions are there. It's just how hard you want to look for them.
yeah. And then
But
you're kind of getting known as a closer in there, right? Like, didn't you close a deal recently?
so I stepped up right away. As soon as that form went out to sign up as a closer, I just threw my name on it. I'm like, you know what? If I want to move up in sub two, like get people to actually know who I am,
Hmm.
this is probably like the best stage to do it on, right? So I just threw my hat in the ring and they said, "Hey, you're on." I'm like, "Well, okay." And then yeah, I had a couple pretty good nights. Pretty much every night I was on, I had a good night. And we sent a contract out, our first contract on Nightly Dial. Um, but the guy ghosted us, so we're still following up with him.
Nice.
And
Okay.
unfortunately, that's the business. But
That's the name of the game, right?
yeah, it's just how many ghosts can you combat until you actually get a deal. So that's kind
Nice.
of kind of the game. So
We need like Ghostbusters shirts.
yeah, I know. I put that out on Subtube the other day. We do a Subtube Ghostbusters.
That would
Where
be
like
dope.
you would call my lead, and I'll call yours. We'll just swap them.
There you
See if that
go. I've been trying to do that lately. I've had like a couple ghosts me, and I'm like, hey, you, just call from different numbers and see if you can get this guy on the phone at least. But
Yeah,
I think I posted in there. I know a guy that would like every time somebody would ghost him, he'd get send him a pizza and with a note on it like, hey, call me back.
I love
So
it. Yeah, I remember you posting that. That is like the best idea ever. I'm
that
gonna
was
actually,
classic. I think it actually worked. And then he did one that was like in Australia or something. He didn't hear anything, but he was like, just for the story, it was worth the $10.
yeah, seriously, I'm gonna probably do that. I'll update you because I have one that the guy's been ghosting me, but I want the house real bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him a pizza on Friday. It's a good
Well, you
idea.
got good pizza out there, so it might actually work, as opposed to like the stuff we got in Utah is pretty rough. So I don't know if I need to like figure out a different thing to send somebody out here, but uh, we'll see.
I know.
Um,
What,
so
what do you send people out there? I mean,
I
we got every good food.
I
So
don't know. I don't know, honestly. I haven't been here long enough to really like figure out what the local thing is.
yeah.
But so what is you sounds like you're kind of on your way. You've done flips and everything. What is it that you're really needing help with? Like, is it integrator stuff? Like, are you looking for leads to close? Like, what
Mhm.
is your thing that you're hunting for right now?
So I'm on the cusp of like quitting my W-2. So right now it's kind of just like I honestly need a lot more deals to kind of just get that get that going. I'm right there. I keep tossing it back and forth. It's not the first time I've done it. So I wouldn't mind doing it again. So right now I'm looking for more flips in New Jersey. Um, we are looking for some good Airbnbs, but we look for only Airbnbs that are in like kind of year-round vacation areas. Like,
Okay.
people go to Sedona all the time. People go to um, like Sarasota, Florida. They go to Disney World all the time. They go to, all those places like all the time. We look for those areas and like,
Okay, so you're not specifically buying in Jersey. You're
Mhm.
saying you're open to anything that's kind of in the more like touristy locations.
Yes, yeah, for our
Okay.
Airbnbs, yeah, we're looking for that kind of stuff. We're trying to build a bigger portfolio of rentals in New Jersey,
Okay.
and we're trying to get multifamilies in other areas that have like higher cash flow and stuff like that. So like our North Carolinas, I was looking at Ohio, I was looking, a couple other places just for some higher cash flow rentals.
Is it like specific areas in Jersey? I want to be specific so that when, we have other people watch this, they know they're bringing you what you're really looking for.
Yeah, so if I'm doing a flip in northern New Jersey, it's going to be in Bergen County, Passaic County, Essex County, Monmouth County, Morris County. Those are like my main counties I'll do a flip in.
Okay.
Um, I'll buy and hold stuff in Ocean County and in Cape May County. Pretty much anything along the coastline there. We'll do
Okay.
buy in those areas. for Airbnbs, but buy and holds Airbnbs. My town specifically, Bloomfield, New Jersey. If there's ever a deal in that town, I'm buying it and I'm
Okay.
holding onto it forever because this is a very, very appreciating town, and the growth we're having is going to be substantial, and it's going to be long term, not just short term goal stuff here. So yeah, New Jersey's a silent killer, man. It's a hot market. It's always been one, and like people just think it's the armpit of America. I mean, but let's be honest, man. I mean, we got money out here.
Yeah.
There's money to be made, but people like it's not a Phoenix. It's not as
Yeah.
sexy as or the North Carolinas or whatever. We just have all of New York moving into New Jersey and bringing their multiple millions of dollars and overpaying for houses.
Yeah. No, I mean, like coming from Florida, I always thought, Jersey is just like a big city. It's right next to New York City. And then we drove through it a couple times and you're just like how much farmland there is and how like they're rural some of the areas are and everything. And it was pretty shocking going through there like, oh, okay, I was completely wrong about this whole area.
Yeah, everybody usually is. So you could, where I am, I could drive 20 minutes to a good hiking spot, like really, really in the
Mhm.
woods hiking spot. I could drive 20 minutes, I'm in New York City. I could drive 45 minutes, I'm at the beach. Or I could just stay in my town and walk out my front door and I'm at an awesome downtown with like, bars, restaurants, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the Jersey Shore? Is that where?
Uh,
Are you not from the Jersey Shore?
yeah, so like Jersey Shore gave us a bad name,
Do you
man.
know Snooki?
Yeah, you know Snooki, right? Yeah, we get that all the time. I know people are always like, "You have an accent." I'm like, "Am I supposed to?" Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
so just kind of we're kind of hitting the limit here. We want to wrap it up a little bit, try to keep these under 30 minutes.
Sure.
What is it like kind of the last thing is what do you try to do as far as like helping the community and I know I see you in there. I just want to hear what your
Mhm.
kind of focus is with how you give back to everybody in here.
So what I'm trying to do is help people close deals and get them to the finish line. If you're looking to get your first deal done or something like that, I'll help you close it virtually. Um, I like doing that kind of stuff. I'm actually trying to ramp up my wholesaling stuff as well to fund more stuff, but eventually it'll be to like help newer students and stuff like that. And, people are just getting in the business, try to help them like get their first deal. Um, but yeah, right now, just they need help. Like, how do you do this? How do you find this contractor? What do your conversations look like when you're doing a fix and flip, or how do you run a fix and flip? All that kind of stuff. Like, I'll always help you guys out with that. Little minutia of setting up creative deals. I'll talk about that all the time. Pretty much anything, you guys need, just shoot me a question or whatever. I'll have an answer for you. Um, my number's everywhere. You could always text me and
Yeah.
you can also message me. I'm a little bit better with text, but you can message me too.
Yeah, and we'll get all your contact info and everything in the posts and everything that goes along with this. But hey man, it was really nice chatting with you. Like I know we've done this a couple of times offline and everything. That's why I wanted to have you on first. But it's great seeing what you're doing and like really just how far you've come and like just from meeting you and joining Subto and how you're kind of a bigger player in here. So it's cool. Can't wait to see you blow up big time. So uh nice chat, and we'll be in touch soon, man.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you doing this. And yeah, I appreciate all the kind words. I'll
Cool.
definitely be in touch. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Later. See ya.
Uh,